you today?
Good, how are you?
Good. Did you find the place okay today?
I did.
Okay, great. I know it was the first time and it's kind of weird building and a bunch of weird roads and stuff, so I'm glad that wasn't an issue for today. So I just kind of want to let you know how this will be. I just want to let you know that confidentiality is a main concern, and a lot of people think that when you come here, you talk. I'm not going to talk to your probation officer. I'm not going to talk to any other doctors. I'm not going to talk to anybody that you would want me to talk to without your signing of the release of information. We can discuss that at the end of the session if that is something that you would want to do, but are you understanding of those kind of terms and everything? Do you have any questions?
No, I don't.
Okay, great. All right, Michael, so now that you don't have any questions or concerns about the confidentiality, is there anything you'd like to start off talking about today as to why you're coming on in?
Yeah, depression has been a bit of a big one. I started having depression probably when I was around 13, 14, and then it's kind of stuck with me and unfortunately escalated a little bit with time. I kind of want to get more of a grasp on that, or kind of find ways on how to control it.
Okay, so it sounds like you've been dealing with this depression for as long as you can remember?
Yeah, unfortunately, probably, low teens, preteen age, yeah.
Now, when you were in your earlier preteens, did you go to a doctor? Were you diagnosed with any kind of depression, anxiety, anything like that?
I was diagnosed with bipolar and ADHD, that's about it.
Okay. Now, when you got those diagnoses, pardon me, how did that make you feel?
Well, it kind of made sense. The mood swings with the bipolar, that was kind of clear, and then just can't stay focused. I'm, super hyperactive and scatterbrained, so that made some sense too.
So I'm understanding now that it made you feel a little bit lighter knowing that your behaviors now had, I don't want to say a title, but you kind of were understanding where the origins, where they were coming from, and the whys were being answered.
Definitely the closure, I guess, if you would. That was definitely nice, and it was easy on me.
Okay. Now, I understand you were coming in here for trying to find the coping skills for your depression, because since your diagnosis, you just are unable to cope with your everyday life. Work is becoming a struggle. Your relationships, your family, those things are being affected, correct?
Yeah. It's just every day there's always something, if it's car trouble or if it's work trouble, or it's always something. And you wake up every morning, you get out there, you try your hardest. I work 2 jobs. I go to my first job, then I go to my second one, and I'm tired. I try, but there's always something. The car breaks, or bills are past due, or there's never enough, and it always seems like there's not really light at the end of the tunnel. And why am I doing this type of thing?
Would you like to talk about any ideas that have worked for you in the past? Any kind of coping skills? Have you ever been introduced to any kind?
Not really.
Even listening to music or drawing or driving around, some people don't really think are coping skills, but sometimes people do use them as such.
Distraction is key. I played guitar for 8 years, so I had that as a distraction. That was a coping skill, I would say. I would kind of get lost in the music, and I genuinely feel better, but now I don't even have time for that. So now the few coping skills I had, I don't really have time for those either. So
okay, so you play guitar?
I did. I still know how, but yeah.
Okay, I see your face light up when you talk about that. It seems like something that you do enjoy.
Very much so. I like music. It's relaxing. It kind of takes you away. It takes you away to a nice, whatever type of world you want it to be, depending on what kind of music you're listening to. And then you can just kind of jam out and have fun.
Okay, so it kind of sounds like music would be a coping skill for you. It sounds like you can escape to it. It's a happy place. You obviously light up. You enjoy it very much.
Definitely, yeah.
Okay.
On my way to work, I'm listening to music. On break, during work, I try to fit it in as much as possible.
Okay, so starting off small, let's just say that is your main coping skill. since that brings you joy, and since you aren't experiencing joy, I'm assuming that you don't really play that often anymore, as you were saying.
Yeah.
What obstacles are in your way that are stopping you from going into your coping skills and finding that happy place? What's stopping you?
I'm tired. And I don't really have time. I wake up early, and I have to get ready for the day, and then I go to work, and then I come home, and I'm starving, and I gotta make dinner, I gotta eat, and I gotta clean the house, and then responsibilities. By that time it's already 8, 9 o'clock, and I'm tired, and I gotta go to bed.
Yeah, at times when we're living our crazy adult lives, you get so caught up in your work schedule, then you have your chores, and then everything else you have to do, it piles, and then when do you get time to do the things that you enjoy?
Exactly.
Right, okay. So we just have to figure out a game plan for you to when to figure out and find those times in the day to incorporate those types of activities to bring joy to you.
Yeah.
Okay. So I know that in the past everybody's different, but I've heard of journaling. Some people like to do that. You get a journal, you open it up, get a pen, you write down all your feelings, thoughts, anything that's going on in your mind. A lot of people who do suffer from depression, anxiety, they have a lot of times where they can't sleep or they have insomnia. Do you ever have any of that kind of symptoms?
Intermittently, yeah. Not every night, but there's nights where just my mind won't stop. It's like going 1,000 miles an hour, and my body is tired. I'm tired because I gotta get up, but my mind won't really let me, if that makes sense.
No, that makes 110% sense. Journaling is super great for that because when your mind is going miles an hour a minute, I'm sorry, I can't talk. It helps you, when the pen and the paper give you a one-track mind. So you can only think and write one word at a time. So
Right.
It can only go as fast as your hand will let you. So that's a good way to kind of slow things down, help you cope, breathe a little bit in and out, and just kind of relax. Does that sound like something you would maybe do?
Yeah, I'm willing to try anything at this point.
Okay. So I know sometimes when I'm sure you've had a therapist tell you all sorts of coping mechanisms before, and you have them all, and then you're like, I don't even know what to do with them. I don't like any of them, because when do you fit them out in your day? When is the least busy part of your day?
The least busy, it would probably have to be after work. The mornings are a little frantic. I'm kind of, in the mornings I'm very scatterbrained, and I'm always running around, can't find my shoes or something like that. It's always something. But definitely after work would be, yeah.
After work. Okay. So do you think that you would allot yourself, I'd say maybe even 5, 10, 15 minutes. Let's say 10 minutes of your time after work. Let's say 7 days. Just to pull the guitar out. You can stare at the guitar, you can look at it, you can strum a few strings. I don't know how to play guitar, so I don't really know the lingo of what you guys do with that, but would that be something that would be feasible for you to maybe do, just to kind of get it out there? Because sometimes the hardest part is grabbing it out of the closet or having it, in the back of the cupboard, and you have to pull it out. So having it in front of your face sometimes gives you enough motivation to look at it and be, hey, I kind of want to play this, because it brings you joy just seeing it.
Definitely. That's definitely something I would do. I think I could like mount it on the wall, or I can put it somewhere where it's constantly in my face, and maybe then I'll be more inclined to play, or it won't be such a hassle, because it won't be, downstairs in a closet, or, wherever. But yeah, it's definitely something I could do.
That actually sounds like a really great idea to mount it, so it's kind of doing a double purpose, so you can see it and play. You can see it on the wall and then play it too. So that's also really cool.
Definitely.
So I know that when you came in, we talked about earlier before some of your family's concerns as to you coming in here. How do you feel about your family's thoughts and feelings about your recent diagnosis and how you're coping with it?
Well, like I was saying, the depression has kind of been there for a while, and unfortunately they were kind of stuck with the aftermath of that, I guess. Some days it just wasn't good. There just weren't good days, and I'm living with my family, and they had to see that. They had to go through that. They have to constantly see me upset or angry or whatever it is, and I'm assuming that that hurts them. It's got to hurt them.
Yeah, sometimes dealing with family is very overwhelming. It sounds like hindsight, looking back, when you were younger, maybe you didn't see how you were acting affected them, but now, as an adult, you're kind of reflecting. And,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Reflecting.
Definitely took family for granted a little bit. Kind of was a little spoiled brat. You know, I'd have my temper tantrums. I'd have this and that, and them being the supporting family as they were, you know, they helped me through it. But being younger, I think I took advantage of that a little bit. Now stepping back, holy cow, very grateful for the support that they gave me.
You're just so very considerate of how your decisions affect other people, even though back in the past you may have not been aware of that. Coming to and having that full realization is coming full circle and really showing that gratitude. And that, I really commend you for that. It's really nice of you to kind of step outside of yourself and view other people and kind of what they're going through and how you're affecting them.
Yeah, not too long ago, I made the phone call to my mom. I told her, I said, hey, thanks for everything. Now, seeing people my age with kids and all this stuff, and I definitely had to stop and say thanks, let her know.
I know I certainly have called my mom in the past and have, commended her for raising me, because I was not the easiest child to deal with either. Everybody has, their preteens and moments like that. So, what would be one goal that you would like to work on this week?
One goal. I like this music thing that we're going on. It was a really big deal back in the day for me. It was for the early childhood. It was definitely a big deal. It really stinks that I can't get back into it as much as I want, or it's kind of been more of a thing of the past and not just a current thing. Let's get the guitar out. I want to do that. I want to try to dedicate a couple minutes every night after work, take a shower just so I'm not nasty. I'll take a shower, eat, whatever, and then play some guitar and give myself that time and kind of unwind, kind of relax, and maybe not think about anything for a little bit.
Okay. So now, on a scale of 1 to 10, how confident are you in creating this change for yourself?
I want to. I really want to. So I think that's definitely half the battle. I think the likelihood of me actually doing it is pretty well. 1 to 10, I would probably say an 8.
An 8, okay.
I think something really serious would have to, pop up for me to kind of distract me from it, not let me do it, because this is something that's a big deal for me, and this is something that, I want to make the changes and I want to make the effort into.
And you're already more than half the battle there, or half the way there, because look, we're sitting in this office and you're already bringing it up and talking about it, and you're trying to already make the changes to have the possible good outcomes that are, on the way, because they are on the way. It is possible, and it is coming for you. And I noticed that you chose an 8 for that. Why did you choose an 8 and not maybe, I'd say, a 2 or a 4?
Because I want to do it. I've been told, a bunch of things before, coping mechanisms, this and that, and I haven't really wanted to do them, so, the effort wasn't really there, and so I didn't follow through, and so they kind of fell apart, and they didn't really work. But this is something that's already very comfortable for me. It's not new, it's not alien, I know it, and I think that makes the likelihood of me actually going out there and getting the guitar out a little bit higher.
Great. I'm so glad that you chose an 8. It really shows that you really do believe in yourself, and you do see that you are capable of that positive change.
Definitely, yeah. I just, sometimes I need the push. I need, some new ideas every once in a while. I live on my own. I'm in my own apartment. Sometimes I don't really have anyone to bounce ideas off of. My friends aren't the most intelligent at times, so I don't really rely on them too much with things like this, so I figure I'd go to the professionals.
Thank you, but honestly, when you come here, it's really you doing the work, and I'm just kind of in the passenger seat. So just remember that. Don't constantly think that I'm doing all this work.
Stop.
Really do give yourself a pat on the back because you are here, you're putting in the work, you're doing all the dirty work, so really do commend yourself. And I know sometimes throughout the week it is hard, and I know a lot of people when they're working out or if they're trying to eat healthy or other kind of goals they have, it'll be Monday, Tuesday good, Wednesday good, Thursday Friday no good, weekend
Right.
lower.
Yeah.
So everybody, don't get down on yourself if you fall, but just remember yourself. Remember us having this conversation and you sitting there telling yourself that you're an 8. You are an 8. You are capable, you are positive, and don't kind of let that mindset go from an 8 to that 2 to 4. When you were telling me why you weren't that, don't become that. Just try to keep those positive affirmations and really just kind of keep in that go, go, go path mindset.
Okay, definitely.
Perfect. So I know that we are meeting next Wednesday. Is there any other kind of concerns you want to talk about or any other homework assignments that you want to go over, that you have any questions?
No, this I like this. This I think we went through some stuff, and I think we got some good ideas going on.
Okay, so you felt we had a positive session? Is there anything
Yeah.
that I could work on for you, or?
No, you were great. Definitely.
Okay, great. Well, I look forward to seeing you next Wednesday, and you have a great rest of your week, Michael.
You too.
Thanks. Bye.
Thanks.